Hi, my name is Bijan from Product Management Exercises, where you prepare for your PM job interviews. And today I'm going to tell you how to answer a product improvement question. A product improvement question is meant to evaluate your ability to think in a structured manner in an ambiguous environment. It wants to see if you can discover your users' pain points and address them with meaningful product improvement ideas. Here's how you answer a product improvement question. Step 1. Describe the product. Your first task is to make sure that you have the right understanding of the product and what it does. Spend a few seconds to describe the product and how it works. If you're unfamiliar with the product, ask the interviewer if your understanding of it is accurate. Step 2. Clarify the scope of the question. This is your chance to narrow down the scope of the question by asking clarification questions. For example, if the question is, how would you improve Gmail? You can ask what they mean by improvement. Does it refer to more usage or revenue or something else? Or can you make your own assumptions? You can also ask them, is there any particular platform they have in mind? If the interviewer answers your questions, great. They might say you can make your own assumptions. For the Gmail example, let's assume that you've decided to focus on mobile since mobile usage is growing rapidly and is the next platform. Step 3. Choose one particular goal. Use this step as a way to narrow down the scope of the question even further. You can do this as part of step 2 if you've asked the interviewer if they have a particular goal in mind, or you can pick your own goal if you don't have a suggestion. If you're choosing the goal, explain the reasoning behind the particular goal that you're going to choose. Some goals you can consider focusing on are increasing revenue, number of active users, usage, engagement, or retention. In the Gmail example, let's say that our goal is to drive usage of the product. Your next step is step 4, list the user groups. At this step, you want to highlight the different user groups of the product that you're improving. It's important to remember that user groups should be distinct from each other and have unique characteristics. For example, in the Gmail example, power users and young adults are not two distinct user groups, but power users, casual users, and occasional users are 3 distinct user groups that you can highlight. It's also a good idea to describe each of these user groups with some details. For example, you can describe the Gmail power user as someone who checks their emails and sends and receives emails multiple times a day. They use their phone more than a desktop to check their emails. They care about efficiency and productivity, and they're usually a young professional and have a newer phone that helps them be more productive. And a casual user checks their email once or maybe twice a day. They don't send and receive as many emails as a power user. And an occasional user is someone who checks their email once every few days, and they send and receive very few emails. They usually use a desktop to check their emails, and is usually someone who's less tech savvy or an elderly person. Step 5 is select one user group. This step helps you focus on addressing the needs of a particular user group with meaningful solutions. For the Gmail example, let's say that we go with the power users because they're always looking for new features that make their lives better and are active on mobile. Now you're ready for your next step. Step 6, list the user pain points. This is your chance to show to the interviewer that you emphasize with the users of a product and can describe their pain points effectively. Before listing the pain points, feel free to ask for a minute to think about them. One way to come up with a list of pain points is to think about the user journey from beginning to the end. By going over the whole customer journey in your head, you can quickly think of pain points that the users will have when they interact with the product. For the Gmail example, here are a few pain points that come to mind. They receive too many emails every day. They have to constantly determine which email deserves their immediate attention, which one doesn't. And they worry about being late in responding to important emails. Typing emails on their phone taking a long time is another pain point. Or their phone battery dies quickly because they use their phone for email during the day very often. An important note to keep in mind is to avoid mixing pain points with solutions. Remember that you're still not solving for the problems at this stage. For example, user must be able to type emails faster is a pain point, but enabling pre-typed answers is a solution which you do not want to discuss at this time. Your next step is step 7, prioritize your pain points. Here you prioritize your pain points based on some meaningful criteria such as impact to the user or potential value to the company or implementation effort. For our Gmail example, let's say that we focus on constantly trying to figure out the priority of emails and spending too much time on typing because they're the most severe points for our users based on our analysis. Your next step is step 8, list your solutions. This is where you brainstorm a few product improvement ideas to address the pain points that you've prioritized. It's your chance to showcase your ability to think creatively about new and practical ideas that make your products better and as a result, make the users happier. It's also okay here to again ask for a minute to think about your product improvement ideas. When describing your ideas, try to present at least 5 solutions and include a couple out-of-the-box ideas that present your ability to think of new ideas and variety of approaches. For our Gmail example, let's say that our product improvement ideas are an AI tool that auto-prioritizes emails based on the user's historical time to respond, or an ability for a Gmail user to flag emails as urgent before sending them, or you can introduce a few gestures as shortcuts that auto-type a user's pre-selected or pre-typed answers, or enable Gmail to gather information about unknown people by including links to their LinkedIn profiles to save time for the email recipient, or build a tool that enables the users to immediately see the ask in a bold color in a long email so that they won't miss the key messages in an email. Your next step is step 9, prioritize your solutions. The purpose of this step is to showcase your ability to prioritize your various ideas by evaluating them using some meaningful criteria such as impact to the user, implementation cost, or time to develop. And after your evaluation, you can actually prioritize your solutions. For our Gmail example, let's say that we do our evaluation and decide that creating shortcut gestures offers significant benefit to the power users and its implementation cost is not that significant, so we've decided to move forward with it. Note that you don't have to come up with one particular solution as your prioritized solution. It's okay to have more than one product ideas here that are prioritized, but you should definitely disregard some of the ideas that you've listed earlier and you've decided that are not high priority. Your next step is step 10, define metrics to measure the success of your product improvement ideas. In some cases, the interviewer asks you to think of a couple metrics that help you measure the impact of the changes that you're proposing. If you're asked to provide a metric, suggest one primary metric and a couple secondary metrics to showcase your analytical skills. For our Gmail example, you can say that the number of users who use the shortcut gestures on a monthly basis is a great way to measure the effectiveness of a new feature. And secondary metrics could be number of users who try this for the first time per month, or counting the number of emails sent and received per user who's adopted this feature and compare that to a user group that have not adopted this feature. And your next step is summarizing the answer. If there is time, provide a quick summary of the answer by going over the initial goal you selected, the user group you focused on, the pain points for that particular user group that were prioritized, and the solution or solutions that you've chosen to implement. Thank you for watching this video. For more videos, check out our YouTube channel. If you're practicing for a PM job interview, make sure you check out hundreds of product manager interview questions on our website. You can also schedule mock interview sessions with other product managers at productmanagementexercises.com.